Hey everyone, I'm Chief Meteorologist Jordan Frazier. There's a whole lot going on across the country right now, and it's all from large-scale cold fronts. So let's zoom in on these watches and warnings. There's a lot going on here. Across much of Texas, New Mexico, and Oklahoma, lots of these high wind watches, high wind warnings, and wind advisories. Strong winds kicking up a lot of dust in the atmosphere from the winds from a cold front, and surrounding areas too under those red flag warnings on top of it, because you have that increased fire risk from everything. Heading a little bit farther out toward the west near the Rockies, you have a mix of those high wind watches. We have a lot of those winter weather advisories and even some winter storm warnings due to those high elevation mountaintops getting heavy snowfall and even some of that blowing snow. Something, of course, we're keeping an eye on. Here's that entire system playing out in real time throughout the day today. Lots of that snowfall mainly into Wyoming, Colorado, and even Utah, especially more so, it's from those high elevations. Then the system itself really gets picked up by a low pressure system. It starts to bring really strong to severe storms out toward the Great Lakes region, and you can really see that line stretching all the way down toward the Mississippi River and all the way down toward New Orleans. But as it plays along, it's not a high resolution model, but we start to see heavy rainfall expected all the way from Maine down to Florida along the entire eastern coast. Here's that severe risk associated with it. From yesterday, yes, we did have a couple of those severe storms in eastern Texas. Just that level 1 severe risk mainly for Georgia and Alabama, even out a little bit toward Mississippi too and the Florida Panhandle. But then you get to Friday. This is where we're going to see large-scale severe storms from that same rotating low pressure system that I just showed you guys. But what about the rainfall potential? So heavy rainfall up to about 3 inches in the mountains in California, extending all the way out, maybe an inch, half an inch or so, really starts to come together in the southeast where we see that large scale stuff. Oklahoma, Texas look to be missing out on a whole lot of this rain. So let's watch this entire system. Large scale low pressure moving down south, starting to rotate a little bit and then continue its way all the way into the Great Lakes. That's that whole system, and then move out to the east coast, consistently changing temperatures as a result. So let's actually look at those temperatures as we push toward your Friday and the weekend. A mix of 50s and 40s in the northwest, moving down south into California. Nice 50s and 60s, pretty spring-like, even Phoenix as well. Starting more up into those 70s too. Texas, you got a mix of everything in Texas. We see anything from some of those 80s, 90s, and also some of those 70s too. Same for much of those Gulf regions, Atlanta, Tampa, 70s and 80s. Similar situation out here, but of course, once that front hits, notice that big drop out there, so stay safe out there, everyone.